All right.
Hey, good morning. Let's get started. I'm Neelam Arora, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all to our annual Women's United member breakfast. Can't believe it's been a year since we started operating in this new normal. Hey, but that hasn't stopped us from doing anything. It's been business as usual at Women's United. We are a resilient group of women, aren't we? This morning, we have an exciting agenda. We have a distinguished guest speaker, followed by small group sessions. We'll also be doing a community spotlight. And our theme this morning is resilience, renewal, reinvest. And we'll start by watching a short video to kick us off, which captures the spirit of resilience. Just a couple of things to note. You may want to put yourself on mute and just go to speaker view to get the best experience. So let's get going. Enjoy. So Lauren, if you could play the video. Thank you. All right, so we'll have an opportunity to reflect on the video in our short breakout sessions. But we'll get going with the agenda, and I'll turn over to Erica Dean for a Community Leadership Award. Erica?
Yeah, thank you, Neelam, and good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you as we kind of get our slideware together. Thank you so much, Lauren. And I don't know about you, but that video definitely pumped me up for this morning. I think that's great. And if you noticed as you were coming in this morning, we had a slideshow of some great women leaders in our time across the years that we were just showing you. So in a moment, when we're able to show you, I want to just take a second and recognize some of what I'll call the movers and the shakers and the magic makers that we have amongst us with our Women United team. And we just want to take a moment, and I'll pause and just see if Lauren can share. Want to take a moment and recognize some of the great leaders that we've had within our Women United team. These are women that give their heart and dedication to not only Women United, but also other areas of the Greater Hartford community. And we just want to take a second to say, here is our legacy of service. Thank you to these leaders for what they do. And again, I'll say importantly for Women United, but also where they share their gifts, their talents, their heart, their dedication with other organizations across the community. And so this year, for the first time, what we thought would be great to do is, as a Women United team, recognize one of our members that does the same and her work day in and day out. And so this is our first time that we will have the Women United Community Leadership Award. This is an award that's newly established in honor of a Women United member who has served her community above and beyond the call of community service. You may have had a sneak peek already, but it doesn't make the delivery any different. I'd like to honor our first award recipient this year, Tisa Rabin Marshall. And Tisa Rabin Marshall, we just want to thank you and congratulate you for all the work, the snaps, the claps, all the work that you have done for our community. And as a dear friend, it is my honor to give this to you. Let me just take a moment before, Tisa, we'd love to hear from you, but let me take a moment just to share with this group of women some of the work that Tisa has done in the community over the years. I'm going to read this so I don't mess up any of the facts. Tisa has been a Women United member for approximately 6 years. During that time, she's held various leadership roles, among them Power of the Purse Auction Committee Chair for 2 years in a row, Red, White, and Chocolate Co-Chair for 2 years in a row, as well as last year, she was Power of the Purse Co-Chair with Rachel George for the first ever virtual Power of the Purse event. Outside of Women United, Tisa has been on the board of directors of Leadership Greater Hartford for 8 years. She served as board member for a few years before joining the executive committee, where she was secretary, vice chair, and then took a 2-year term as board chair, which ends on December 2021. Prior to taking on leadership roles, she was a Leadership Greater Hartford program participant and a 2005 Quest graduate. Tisa's also been active with the Amistad Center for Art and Culture for over 15 years as lead chair of the Juneteenth Gala in 2020 and again in 2021. And I am honored to be serving with her as co-chair for this 2021 Juneteenth celebration. Since arriving to Hartford as a transplant in 2004, she's also been a board member of Hartford Youth Scholars, the YMCA Minority Achievers Program, and the Phoenix Federal Credit Union, as well as many event and gala planning committees. Her passion for the region shows through her many roles. In particular, the impacts of COVID and racism on the Black and Brown communities brought to the forefront in the last year have furthered Tisa's commitment and dedication to making a difference in a hands-on volunteer capacity. She does this through dedication and service to several organizations, but if I could just name a few: Jack and Jill of America, Food Share, the National African American Insurance Association, and its partnership with Junior Achievement, and Hands on Hartford. In her hometown of Seattle, Washington, Tisa was raised to be an active volunteer in the community, as her family has always been philanthropic and instilled in her a willingness to answer that call. She recalls her parents often saying yes when asked if they could help their community. She learned from their examples to pay blessings forward and to always make a difference where she could. This is what drives the work that Tisa does. She's a dedicated 17-year employee at Nassau Financial Group. However, she additionally is a proud mother, a graduate of Hampton University, a prestigious HBCU, and a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Tisa feels fortunate to have a long-standing, deep relationship with the volunteer organization she supports. She gets involved, she leads, she's hands-on, she lends her marketing expertise and strives to create a vibrant, stable local community and improves racial health and economic opportunities for the Hartford region. Who better to give this first award to than Tisa Rabin Marshall? Tisa, thank you for all the work you've done in our community, and we'd love to have you say a few words with us this morning.
Well, thank you, everyone, and thank you, Erica. My first test this morning was getting off mute and being on at 8 a.m. For those that know me, I need a few cups of coffee before I get going. So I'm about halfway through my first cup. So I want to thank everyone. Thank you, Erica. Such a humbling award, and it's very special for it to be presented to me by you, because as you know, I adore and admire you for all the work and person that you are, and you are, of course, considered one of my dear friends. So thank you. I also want to thank Paula and the staff and board at United Way, and our Women United leaders, Julia and Rachel, for forming this new recognition and selecting me as the member recipient. We often hear the phrase, "We stand on the shoulders of those who come before us." And I certainly feel this way, and thank my parents, as Erica said, for instilling in me a sense of community and spirit of giving back. The idea of being where we are because of those who came before us, paving the way, is a great image, especially when you think of standing on shoulders, the image of standing upright and proud and striving or reaching up, building upon the generations that came before us. To me, that is just what the work we do at Women United is. As we support our family financial literacy centers and our other programs, we are providing the tools and skills to build up and ensure, woman by woman, family by family, systemic cycles are broken and next generations are propelled to do into a new and more stable financial future. That work is so important, and that is why I'm involved and proud to be a member of Women United. If you can keep that visual in your minds for a few minutes of standing on shoulders, now imagine that's a room of women standing in their truth and their power, propped by their backgrounds and their experiences, but now connected shoulder by shoulder, maybe even crossing arms, connecting hand to hand, creating a circle. For me, in that visual, I see power, I see strength, I see resilience, I see diversity, I see love, I see friendship, I see ideas, and I see heart. That is what Women United means to me. And that is what the work we do means for our community. The impact we have is amplified with our collectiveness. We harness our collective treasures, time and talent, our power of the purse, if you will, our monetary gifts to help make a difference, bringing solutions forward to fight racism and disparities in our community in particular, and I'll reiterate again, those more disproportionately impacting the Black and Brown communities to create economic opportunities. Women in philanthropy, we are powerful. Yesterday, for International Women's Day, a day set aside to celebrate the achievements and contributions of women and continue the fight for equity, our first female vice president, Kamala Harris, said, and I'm going to paraphrase, "Our world does not yet work for women as it should. There is more work to be done." And this is not just an act of goodwill. This is a show of strength. If we build a world that works for women, our nations will also be safe, stronger, and more prosperous. I wholeheartedly agree with Vice President Harris, and I am honored to do this work and continue the fight for good with Women United and the other organizations I work with and those that support to aim to do the same. Thank you again for this Community Service Leadership Award. I am truly humbled and I am truly blessed to be a part of our Hartford community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Please soak up all the love that's in the chat of people honoring you and congratulating you. It's so well deserved. We are in this with you. Thank you for everything you've done. So as we move on, I'd like to turn it over to Christina LaPierre, who will help introduce our guest speaker for this morning. Christina.
Great. Thank you, Erica. Congratulations, Tisa. Good morning, everybody. And good morning to our Lieutenant Governor, Susan Bysiewicz, who is here with us on our call. So she was sworn in on January 9th, 2019. Susan Bysiewicz is serving her first term as Connecticut's 109th Lieutenant Governor here in Connecticut. Lieutenant Governor Bysiewicz formerly served as Connecticut's Secretary of the State from 1999 to 2011. As state representative in the Connecticut General Assembly, she represented the towns of Middletown, Middlefield, and Durham from 1993 to 1999. Lieutenant Governor Bysiewicz graduated from Middletown High School, from Yale University, and Duke Law School. She is the author of Ella, a biography of Ella Grasso, Connecticut's 83rd governor. Lieutenant Governor Bysiewicz and her husband, David Donaldson, reside in Middletown. Please welcome Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysiewicz as our key guest note speaker this morning. Thank you.
Well, good morning, ladies, and thank you so much for that very nice introduction. Congratulations, Tisha, and thank you so much for having me this morning for your Women United breakfast. This month, we are celebrating the amazing accomplishments of women across the state and our country with Women's History Month. And yesterday, we celebrated International Women's Day. This year, we made history when the first Black Asian American woman was sworn in as the 49th Vice President of the United States. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I always dreamed of seeing a woman elected to serve in the White House. And so many women helped to pave the way to shatter the glass ceiling. Shirley Chisholm, Hillary Clinton, just to name a few. But it wasn't until November of 2020, a year that marked the centennial anniversary of women being granted the right to vote under the 19th Amendment, that the United States elected its first female vice president. For decades, we've seen all women, regardless of their race, age, background, or zip code, fight for the right to have a seat at the table. And so I want to congratulate you for the 10th anniversary of United Way, Women United. We need more organizations like United Way to lead by example, to help advance priorities for women and families in our state. Since taking office, Governor Lamont and I have been very focused on creating a working and learning environment that allows women and girls and our families to thrive, because at their core, as I like to say, women's issues are economic issues, which is why we created the Council on Women and Girls to provide a coordinated state response to issues impacting the lives of women, girls, their family, and the state of Connecticut. The Council has been focusing its work on 4 areas of impact: education and STEAM, economic opportunity and workforce, equity, leadership, and health and safety. Our work has made Connecticut one of the most female-friendly states in the nation. Check it out on Wallet Hub. We've recruited 22 senior level executives from some of Connecticut's largest companies, including several Fortune 500 companies, to serve on our corporate leadership circle that will work to help advance the goals of the Governor's Council on Women and Girls. We also announced that 10 major private sector companies in Connecticut signed on to the Paradigm for Parity Pledge, a nationwide coalition of businesses committing to achieve gender parity in the leadership of their corporate boards and their C-suite executive offices over the next 10 years. So they've pledged that by 2030, half of their board members and half of their corporate executives will be women. So while we've made very good progress on closing the gender gap, we have more work to do. Women in Connecticut, on average, if they're white, earn 84 cents for every dollar paid to men. But Black women working full-time earn only 57 cents on the dollar. Native American women working full-time earn 55 cents on the dollar, and Latina women working full-time earn just 48 cents for every dollar that a white man makes. These lost wages leave women in positions where they're less able to support themselves and their families, save and invest for the future, spend on goods, services, and education. And that's why last year, our administration was very proud to sign into law a bill raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. We also passed one of the best, most progressive paid family leave policies in the nation. It's initiatives like these that will help us build a more equal and inclusive society. This year, the governor and I are supporting legislation that aim to increase female participation in government, both in elected office and on state boards and commissions. Women are still sadly underrepresented in state government. Although we had a record-breaking 138 Connecticut women running for office at the state and federal level, in 2018, women account for only 35% of the 392 candidates on last year's ballot, and only 34% of those sworn into office at the state legislature. Childcare continues to be a barrier that prevents too many moms, especially low-income mothers who can't afford outside help, from running for office. That's why we're proposing to allow candidates participating in the Citizens Election Program to use program funds for childcare expenses attributable to their campaign. This would make it easier for women to run and win elective office. We're also proposing to promote gender and racial diversity on our state boards and commissions by codifying the administration's new online portal that makes it easier for residents to learn about and apply for positions, and by directing appointing authorities to seek out diverse candidates. One of the other things we can do to encourage more women to pursue an education and careers in male-dominated fields like politics is to mentor young girls and introduce them to these professions. Research shows individuals with mentors have improved academic, social, and economic prospects. Girls with a mentor are 2.5 times more likely to be confident in their ability to succeed in school and their chosen profession. And companies with engaged employees perform 200% better. So we need to give our young girls inspirational figures to follow in the footsteps of. Because when our young girls are sitting at home watching with their friends and family as Kamala Harris is sworn in as the 49th Vice President of the United States, they will know that they too have the power to change the world. So it's up to us to ensure that milestone occasions like the first female vice president, the centennial anniversary of women getting the right to vote, aren't confined to just one day in history. We need to create opportunities for young women that will allow them to thrive, and there's no better time to be doing this than during Women's History Month. I couldn't be more excited to be with you today. You have such impressive women who empower their members through personal, professional, and philanthropic opportunities. Your work helps ensure that women and families achieve financial security, and you have made an impact during these past 10 years. On average, women make up 75% of the nonprofit workforce, meaning that 9.2 million American women, 1 out of every 12, participate in the nonprofit world, making it the 3rd largest workforce in the country. This is a workforce that inspires and empowers women in the workplace, being able to better their communities while also helping women and families succeed. With the assistance of organizations like United Way, young women and girls have been able to further pursue opportunities in their careers as they have been able to achieve economic mobility and academic success through your programs. The efforts of the United Way, Women United, are essential towards the development of women and girls to advocate for the advancement of education, health, financial stability, and literacy, causes that I've championed throughout my career in public service. For the betterment of women and their families and our state, we need to reform and transform our communities. And this will make the future that we are advocating for a reality. And this couldn't be possible without the exceptional female leaders that have been working with the United Way from day one. It's because of them and everyone who has joined in their mission that Women United has ensured that families across the state are more financially secure. From changing the lives of children to building the next generation of leaders, there is much that Women United has accomplished. And I look forward to the great work that we can do together to advance this in our state. And I'm going to follow Tisa's lead. She quoted from Kamala Harris, and I want to end on this great quote, which sums up what we are doing on our Council on Women and Girls, and also what you are doing with Women United and the United Way. And here it is. Our unity is our strength, and diversity is our power. Let's keep working together to build a more inclusive world for everyone. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Governor. We appreciate your words and we
Thank
appreciate your
you.
time this morning. Thank you. I'll turn it over to Neelam right now to go back to our next item.
Thank you, Christina. So at this point, I think we get ready to move to our small group breakout sessions. So Lauren, if you could just help us get organized for that.
Terrific. Welcome back, everybody. I am Rachel George, and I'm the Vice Chair of Women United. I am just going to close up our time together, and I thank you so much for joining us. It was a wonderful breakfast and morning with you all. There are just a few additional things that we'd like to share. So one is our next event that's coming up as part of our Lead Hers Health and Wellness series. And this one is Improving Health Through the Power of Plants. So this is part of a series. We've had 3. This is our 4th for the year, and all of them have been around health and wellness. And we talked about being mindful and taking care of ourselves. We talked about health and fitness. We talked about living a life with purpose. And this one is going to be about eating healthy. And Michelina DeCibio will be our facilitator for that. And she's a professional in this area. And she has a company called Let Us Be the Good. So I would encourage all of you to join us. It's quick, it's informative, and it's about helping us become better so that we can lead others better. And I think that's it for that. And our signature event, Power of the Purse, is coming up on June 17th. We hope everyone will join us. We were originally hoping that the country or the state would open up and that we could do this in person, but it's not working out, the timing. So we've decided to do this again virtually. We did it last year virtually. It was very successful. We're going to do it again this year virtually. Julie DeLuca Collins and Isabella Danielson are our co-chairs for this event. And our keynote speaker is going to be Lucinda Cross. She is an inspiring women's advocate and has a powerful voice to inspire us as women to help each other. So that is our advertisement to join us. You'll be seeing more on both of these events coming up soon, and we'd love to have you there with us. It is our #1 event for helping the community financially. And finally, I would like to thank everyone on the call who joined us this morning, because we are all busy. We probably took time off from work to come and join us, so thank you so much. And I would like to thank the committee that put this together, and that includes Neelam Arora, your initial host, Christina Lapierre, Julia Monique Johnson, who couldn't join us today because she's getting married, and I guess myself. And then especially I'd like to thank the Lieutenant Governor for taking time out of her busy schedule and sharing her time and her wisdom and all of the things that are going on to help our women community. It was very inspiring, and I'm going to go online and dig up more about all of those initiatives. So thank you, everybody, and we hope to see you at some of these future events. We're going to quickly show, for anyone who wants to stay, we're going to quickly show the slideshow just in the last minute because some people joined later and missed it. But otherwise, we're done for the morning. Thank you.